Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Jedi's point of view. Welcome back to the channel. It's another Star Wars video today. I'm going to be talking about the Bad Batch episode, the aftermath first episode of the Bad Batch, season 1. And, I mean, as far as we know, it's season 1. Hopefully there's more seasons based off what I saw a couple days ago. It was absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen this episode yet, click off the video now. Before we get in, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and obviously share every single thing you like about this video to your friends. But let's just get right into this shit, shall we? So, all I have to say, starts off, throws it back, literally right before Order 66 happens, right before Sidious finally gets to do his master plan, and you're with Master Depa Billaba and Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom, and they are getting pinned down. All the clones are in a terrible amount of trouble. They're about to get owned by the Separatists. They're just super outnumbered. And then the Bad Batch rolls in, and they just do what they do. They just slap it up, bro. They kick ass, and then literally just clear the whole field. They destroy like a whole unit of Separatist droids and 4 tanks. It was pretty lit how they used their teamwork, just like we saw in the original Bad Batch arc of the last season of the Clone Wars. And then we go from them winning that battle to instantly Depa Billaba's clone commander, whoever it is, I don't even know his name, don't know the clone unit that they are. But he gets the call from Sidious to execute Order 66, and Depa Billaba heard it and saw it, but she wasn't strong enough to hold off all the clones. She didn't want to kill them, obviously, so just like how Ahsoka was, she was like cutting their blaster off and like just stunning them type deal, not causing any fatal injuries to them. And she ended up dying. Caleb ended up still seeing her. This in the old canon now is considered old canon. The Kanan Jarrus comic books, she died in a totally different way, but still basically the same because it's still clone troopers at the end of the day killing them. And I don't even care. The TV shows and movies are more canon than the comic books. The comic book's still probably a good read. Come on, refocus in on me, baby. Let's go. Look at my face. There you go. And honestly, people are getting salty about how they retconned like the old canon of the comic books, but it's not a huge deal. The story was amazing in this episode, so I'm going to take it for what it is and say that it was a great addition to the story. Getting to see Hunter's reaction to Order 66, telling all the other Bad Batch to just wait, like what the fuck's going on here, right? Like what's going on? And then they end up looking for Kanan and they don't find him really. Like Hunter tries to hide his death, and Crosshair actually reported it to Tarkin. We find out later in the episode that they didn't kill the Jedi and that Hunter disobeyed Order 66 and that the other clones didn't go through with it either. So we have a nice heart-touching moment with Kanan and Hunter, and that kind of leads us into Hunter's persona for the next little bit of the episode. They end up going back to Kamino after a couple hundred days. Things have changed, they're saying. It's a lot different than it was when they left. The end of the war is crazy. They don't know what's going on. They roll up and they see a Jedi that gets pushed along on a fucking stretcher, and then he drops his lightsaber. He or she drops his lightsaber, and obviously they're all shooketh. They're like, dude, that's a lightsaber. What are they doing? They killed this Jedi too. Like every Jedi's getting murked out here by the clones. So the Bad Batch is still trying to figure out what's going on, and it was really interesting because we got to see it from the clones' perspective of how they experienced Order 66, and like we got to see a couple scenes exactly lined up like timeline wise with Revenge of the Sith, with Sidious giving his speech to the Senate. That was also broadcasted to Kamino, and all the clones then just cheered except for the Bad Batch. They were like, bro, what the fuck's going on? Galactic Empire? What do you mean, bro? And it was pretty good, actually. They covered all their bases. They made sure that they were keeping it chronological, and we were literally in the same timeline as episode 3 here. It was awesome. When you think about it, Darth Vader wasn't even Darth Vader yet until, like, right then and there, right? Like, as soon as the first episode, and then he wasn't even in his suit until probably near the end of the episode. So that's kind of cool, just thinking of, like, what's going on in the other parts of the universe. I'm going to have a quick swig here. But I definitely enjoyed how they covered it from the clones' point of view. The Bad Batch is a much more interesting group of people than I initially thought they were going to make them be, because it was going to be hard, but it's not hard at all. Bradley D. Baker, the voice actor for all the clones, is killing it too. He's doing a great job. And then we are introduced to Omega, who is another genetically modified clone. I'm not sure if her aging process is slowed down as well to just normal aging, because she does look like that. She's still a child, but who knows? She could accelerate in her aging process. I don't know what they've done to her. But obviously she is probably the most OP of the clones, and we're yet to see how powerful she really can be because, man, I'm going to skip over a little bit. They go to Tarkin, they get tested by Tarkin's combat skills, they are in the Kamino training facilities, and then Tarkin's like, bro, fuck these clones, turn on live fire, get it, turn it on. And then they turn on some live fire, there's big ass like Death Trooper shit, and they get fucking murked for a bit, but then the Bad Batch obviously figures out how to beat them and win, and they kick ass, and Tarkin's like, man, fuck these guys, and just walks away, doesn't even say anything, he's just like, nah, I'm out. And then we go to him rolling up to the Bad Batch quarters, and he's like, all right, guys, I have a mission for you. Go to Onderon, stomp out this insurgency. It's separatists trying to keep the war going. Bang. They roll up. There's no droids there. Hunter's like, what's going on? They get closer. They see that it's Saw Gerrera's group of rebels. Excuse me. And Saw Gerrera's not having any of it, because he probably witnessed the clones turn on the Jedi, because they're out in the woods on Onderon trying to just get out. And then Saw Gerrera basically tells him you can either adapt or die. So Hunter has a choice to make here, and we end up seeing him make that choice because Crosshair voices his opinion. He's not too fond of how Hunter has not been obeying orders. He's like, good soldiers follow orders. So obviously his inhibitor chip is still in there busting down. And I'm loving it at this point. I was literally on the fringe of my seat, bro. It was so good. And you end up going back to Kamino. They find out, obviously, because they had a probe droid following them and all this stuff. So Tarkin's pissed off. He's like, fuck you guys, you're going to jail. And then they take Crosshair because they noticed that he was the only one that kind of complied with the Order 66 and like is listening to the orders. So he intensifies the inhibitor chip in his head and makes him more evil, like literally a robot. He's controlled now. He's just like every other reg. And then we jump to them in prison again. They break out. It's kind of funny. There's banter all throughout the episode of Wrecker and Tech, and just Wrecker's basically the comedic relief of the group, and the Muscle, just the big idiot, right? So it was a really good episode just to kind of give us more of a touch on the Bad Batch, especially if people didn't see the first time we saw the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars, because Tech a couple times talks about things that you would already know if you watched the Clone Wars, but obviously they're covering all their bases, making sure people are interested in this first episode, which is an hour and 10 minutes long, literally half a movie, bro, maybe even a full-size movie's that long, so it was amazing, awesome Star Wars experience. And what is it, tomorrow, Thursday the 6th, we get another episode, I believe, of the Bad Batch, so that's going to be awesome too. And then, anyways, back to what I was talking about. They break out of prison. Omega's with them at this point. They're all locked in prison on Kamino. And then they end up breaking out, going to get their stuff at the hangar. And Omega's with them talking, kind of figuring shit out as she goes along, who these people really are, because she's never interacted with them. But they've never interacted with her either. Hunter is super perplexed by Omega's ability and just to tolerate them, I guess. And they end up finding out that she actually can aim a blaster because she ends up saving the day. After a cool action scene, Crosshair comes in his new armor. He's got a new sniper rifle, everything, and just starts wrecking kids. He throws some smoke grenades in there. He throws his thermal on. He's like, you thought, my dude. Starts sniping kids through the smoke, bro. And then Omega's, as the team's getting away, they're trying to pick up Wrecker because he got shot by Crosshair. So they're trying to get him out to the ship. And then it looks like Crosshair's going to shoot Hunter in the back, bro. Boom. Omega shoots his blaster out of his hands. And they're all like, whoa, this little shit can aim a blaster, dude. Stunned. And then they end up getting away and they fly off Kamino. Crosshair's still alive. So Crosshair's going to be the main antagonist in this film, or this TV show for the rest. Or maybe up, like, who knows, just the end of the first season. I'd like to see Thrawn, but that'll take like a year or two, so maybe season 3 we'll see Thrawn stomp out the Bad Batch or something, but I'm really excited. My theory for this is that after this episode, they're going to a planet called J-15 or J-18 something. It's like a code name for their planet. They're going to find a friend. I think it might be Captain Rex, because we saw Rex in one of the trailers. That'd be kind of interesting. Jumping right off where Season 7 left off with the Clone Wars. I'd like to see some Ahsoka maybe, but she's probably long gone by this point, hiding away. What else is there to cover? I think that's basically it. I have a couple things to say about Omega before I go. I think that Omega's probably going to end up being the most overpowered clone that there is. She's going to have some sort of ability that makes her a super fast learner, even more of a fast learner than the normal clones. And it seems like she has almost like a photographic memory or some shit, because there was a scene where Hunter and her, like, she was copying every single mannerism he was doing. So I'm not sure if that's how she learns. She just, like, watches and learns and is just, like, the most genius person out there, because she was a medical assistant to Lama Su who helped them escape. So who knows, man? I'm really excited. I can't wait to see how they tell us this story of the Bad Batch and Omega and connected to the Rebels timeline or whatever timeline they're working towards next. And I feel like the Bad Batch is going to make us emotionally care about these clones and then kill off every clone one by one by one, so that we have like the most emotional ending with Hunter sacrificing himself for Omega and Omega gets away somehow. But that's just my theory, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, may the Force be with you.